Jim, thank you for taking the time.
My pleasure.
You know, you're CEO, you're running the show now at really one of the oldest and most prestigious brands, and certainly one of the best known brands on the planet. So quite a statement about you and your accomplishments and all. I know your history in this industry has been an interesting career arc that's led to good things.
I haven't taken the traditional route for a domestic CEO, but I mean, I think the times, all these leadership positions are situational, as you know.
Yes.
So I think all the experience I had in the early days of Lincoln and Lexus and Scion, and then coming to the company in '07 when we were in real trouble.
Yeah.
I think they all kind of added up in a strange way to having the right experience and made the right kind of mistakes to lead the company to where we need to go now.
I think I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
That's exactly, I think, the assessment that I think anyone observing would make, I would hope. We're here celebrating, among other things, a brand new Lincoln concept car.
Yeah.
Let's first talk about the past. How has Lincoln been defined in terms of a luxury brand for 100 years? It's 100 years old now. What would you say are some of the defining factors that have represented Lincoln?
We've had a couple different phases of Lincoln.
Sure.
I think the common thread behind it has always been, especially 70s, 80s, 90s, when the company was investing a lot in Lincoln, and recently with the Nautilus and the Aviator and the Corsair, it's just kind of reserved elegance, a kind of the opposite of Cadillac, and maybe more opulent in a way than the Europeans. Really, this kind of thing we landed on was quiet flight. We wanted to use our smallness as a brand to lead in customer experience. Coming from Lexus, I really thought it was important for Lincoln to punch above its weight, so we were the first brand to do same-make loaner cars at the brand level, and so it's kind of making things easier for customers, and also having vehicles that when you're in them, there's like not a lot of stress. It's really comfortable, not isolated like Lexus, I would say, more involved in that, but kind of quiet flight, just de-stress your life.
Okay. Well, this is good. This leads to kind of what I want to talk about for the present and future, right? I think most would agree that we're in the midst of one of the most disruptive times in the automotive industry.
Yes, thank goodness, yes.
Yeah, well, and that's the point, right? So disruption could be a time of fear or a time of opportunity.
It's freaking awesome.
Right. And so
for a middleweight for us.
Okay, well, that's what I wanted to get to is, so, you've got connected car tech, you've got electric tech, and of course, ultimately, you're going to have self-driving tech. How does Ford thrive in a disruptive world where those three things are coming in? What's Ford doing to prep for that kind of a change in so many different ways?
Yeah, so it actually turns out that we always thought that being middleweight was a disadvantage compared to Volkswagen or Toyota. Like, we built 6 million cars, they built 10. And they had all the scale on, alternators and starters and like that. Wow, that's fantastic. Look at their costs because of their scale. It turns out in this disruptive period that actually being large and difficult to change winds up being like an existential problem. And so we started several years ago to repair the company, shrinking our operations around our most profitable vehicles. It turns out, in retrospect, that we wound up focusing on the things we do really naturally well, like Super Duties and Mustangs and opinionated products, not generic products. I won't go over the nameplates, but you know more than I do. Things that were just kind of empty calories for us. We didn't make much money. They weren't remarkable. We're done with that. So we got serious about that before this transformation really happened. And then 4 years ago, we came out with our, started working on first 3 electric vehicles. And Jim Hackett was really committed to connecting our vehicles. I think we're now moving into the second inning of a 9-inning game. We're kind of through the first inning in the sense that everyone kind of knows the 3 technologies you mentioned are going to really change our customers' lives. The second inning is designing bespoke vehicles and electrical architectures and software to change the trip. There was a time in '07 when you use your phone to make a call. By '09, we were listening to music, watching content, doing Google searches, looking at advertising, and it wasn't a call anymore. The same thing's about to happen. So what are we doing? We split the company, our auto business, into three, because what I saw is the internal combustion engine team wanting to work on electrics or wanting to work on advanced electric architectures, but they didn't have the know-how, and we don't have the time because we're competing against Tesla and others. So we really focused organization. We started to get a lot of talent in the company. Doug Fields from Apple used to be at Tesla, Alan Clark from Tesla, not because they were from Tesla, because they're tech people. A lot of software people that no one knows. If I were to take you forward right now and introduce you to the new talent we have, you would be totally blown away. You'd be like, oh my God, I had no idea these people had left tech and gone to Ford. And they're doing that because they want to ship these new products. They want to ship software to the car. And they feel like our industry is the next cool thing to change, consumer products to change. And so they're like leaving the tech companies because their innovation curve is totally slowed down. And for many of them, they want to be in the center of the next change, which is us. So having the right corporate structure, getting the right talent, but using your skills like a dealer network, which is a big problem for Tesla now that they're scaling, or large-scale manufacturing. Just ask RJ at Rivian how hard it is to scale a plant. We have 60 of them around the world. So, use what we're really good at, and then create new businesses like Ford Pro, which is for professional commercial customers that we dominate, and create a services business like telematics or 24-hour remote service of your van in case something breaks down. So we're building 3 different businesses.
Okay. And
they all kind of rely on each other, but they're all really a lot more focused. And I would say that second inning is starting to look pretty good.
You've talked a lot about commercial work and specialization.
Yes.
How does a luxury brand, not just Lincoln, but any luxury brand, stand out in a future world where we're all being carted around by self-driving cars?
Yep.
Nobody's going to feel steering feel.
Yep.
I guess you're down to seat comfort and quietness, but everyone's going to want that, not just the luxury brands, because that's all that everything's going to be judged by. So how would you see future luxury defined in this new world that we're all rushing toward?
I'm so glad you asked, because actually until this interview, I've never had a chance to talk about this. When I have my iPhone, and someone says, well, in our automotive world, what's a luxury premium iPhone? It's like, was it gold plated? No, it's not physically different. So once everything is beautifully designed and executed, I believe we enter a kind of a new realm where service, and not car breakdown, fix it, but post-purchase experience and software, including partial autonomy, which kind of turns out to be the first shippable software to the car that customers are willing to pay for is partial autonomy, no doubt about it. $1 billion plus profit opportunity, and there's so much more to do. We could talk about that, but kind of a combination of absolutely impeccably created products, but they have to be in your own kind of brand specific way. For us, our interiors are going to be amazing. Then great electric architectures for our luxury brand, lots of shippable software, so that we give our luxury customers more time back. They want to meditate.
Time is the big luxury.
Yeah, they want that time back. So we need to unlock partial autonomy for our premium customers before anyone, and they're willing to pay more for it. And then also experience, not to fix something that's broken. It's different. It's charging. It's video content. I want more video content. I want to see the inside of my car when I'm not in it. There's all sorts of new experiences, physical experiences. Not have to go to our dealerships. 100% remote pickup and delivery as a model, not just for a car, but the delivery of the car, the test drive of the car, the problem, replacing my windshield wipers. The car's electric architecture tells us that you're at airport. Do you want to have your car refreshed? Not just detailed, but replace seat materials, upgrade the vehicle because we know where it is, we know how long it's been. it's a shippable product. You know, the software is shippable. We know all those things. I think it's going to be physical experience combined with digital shippable software and an impeccable product with a narrow focus.
Okay. You know, Jim, we're at Car Week, so I gotta ask my last question, but maybe the most important if you're a car guy. And I happen to know you are a genuine car guy. You don't just run Ford, but you own interesting vehicles and you like driving them. I always like to ask people, especially people like you with real interesting history and knowledge about vehicles, stepping outside your own company, because it's easy to default to that.
Oh, I love these questions.
Growing up, give me a few models that you feel impacted you. You were growing up, whether it was the poster on the wall in the bedroom, the car you saw in a dealership, some models that really impacted your life.
It was actually a physical place. When we moved from overseas to the U.S., we landed in Greenwich, Connecticut, and Luigi Canetti's Ferrari distributorship for the whole country was located in my hometown. And when I got done with my Greenwich Times, when I got my paycheck on Friday, I'd ride my little Schwinn Stingray and talk to the Italian mechanics in the bottom of, you know, the Ferrari distributorship. And there was one car, it was a New York show car. It was a center drive, 3-place, wide version of what turned out to be the Dino. It was in ivory metallic, like a little floppy color, and it had a 275 4-cam drivetrain, basically a race car, like a 250 LM, but it had a center drive, just like the McLaren F1.
Right.
But and two people kind of positioned behind them. It was a very wide car, and it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. That car, I go every week. They allow me to sit in it. It totally changed my life because it was so creative. It was not like a Porsche, which, you know, it wasn't a Lamborghini, nice tractor. I love those cars, but the car I love the most now, I have a 1955 Lancia Raleigh, which was John Lamb's car, and John Lamb was a journalist I really respected. And we restored that. We drove it on the lawn at Pebble Beach. We showed it here. It won a class award, and that's my favorite car outside of Ford's.
And I remember that car. I remember seeing that car when it was here, and it was fabulous.
Yeah.
Well, this has been great. This is the kind of thing I think people like to hear from someone. You know, they know that there's not just a person running this company, but there's a human being running this company, and a genuine car guy.
Well, thank you for talking today. I loved your questions, and you know, we're all in it together. We're going to watch this total transformation of this industry we all love. My grandfather's an hourly worker for the company. He had nothing, and I'm so honored to serve the company at this moment. But I have to say I'm kind of a one-trick pony. I just love cars, and I love our industry, and I love people like you.
And I think when people who love cars get to the top position on these org charts,
they spend a lot of money.
I get so excited because there's always various types of personalities that are trying to get there, and not enough of the car guys are the ones who end up there. So it's always fun to see. We got some
pretty cool stuff coming for all those car ladies and men. And I think we have a lot of pretty cool surprises up our sleeves. So stay tuned.
I'm sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate the time.
Thank you so much.